Hey everybody, Mr. Inyart here. This is grade 6, module 5, lesson 4. So if you have any questions after watching it, feel free to message me on Schoology or comment on the video. Please also remember, there's no point in just looking at it. Pause the video, rewind, rewatch what you need to, try things on your own and experiment, then refer to the video. All right, let's do it.
What's up, everybody? Here is lesson 4 from module 5, grade 6. All right, so we just want to label these, recognize that this is what we would call a scalene for the sides, because they all have different sides lengths, but also it is an acute, and that's really what matters here, the angles. This is a scalene triangle as well, but the difference is it is a right triangle, which makes things a lot easier. And this one over here is also a scalene, so none of them have, two sides that are the same, but this one is an obtuse. So remember, all triangles can be named based upon their side lengths as well as their angles. All right, so for this lesson, I'm just going to really go over one problem, and then I'll go over the problem set. Again, the formula for area of a triangle, okay, right, acute, or obtuse, can be written two ways. It can be written base times height divided by 2, or it can be area equals 1/2 times base times height, right? And so times 1/2 is the same as divided by 2. Either way, you need the height, you need the base, you multiply those, and then you cut it in half, which is the same as dividing by 2. So same thing with an obtuse triangle, but on an obtuse triangle, you end up having to go outside of the triangle to create your right angle and find your height. This 6 inches is irrelevant. You don't need it. It's pointless. The base of this triangle was 24 inches. The height is 8 inches. So if you did 24 times 8, you would actually create a rectangle right here. All right, so I'm going to draw that with a different color, try and track. This is 8 inches as well, because it's parallel to this line. But then you'll see the area that I have in here that is the triangle is much less, right, than the area that I have that is not the triangle, because it has this whole 8-inch side here, it comes all the way to there. The green looks bigger, right? But then on the opposite end, this part that is the triangle, right, is much bigger than this part, which is not the triangle. And of course, this part here, change my colors to purple, is not even part of anything because the 6 inches comes into play. And so this triangle really is pointless. And by looking at it, you can recognize, okay, the red and the green are about the same, because, not about the same, they are the same. Because even though this is smaller than this part in the rectangle, this is bigger than this part in that one, in this little triangle. And so, and then this part's irrelevant. So if you saw this as a rectangle, this part wouldn't count. Bottom line is, it works. Whether it's obtuse, acute, or right, you need to find the base, which is 24 here. You had to go outside to find the height, because it has to go to the top point down to the base at a right angle. Okay, and then you just do 24 times 8 and divide by 2 to get 96 inches squared. So let's check out the problem set. All right, so you try the problem set. Make sure you do all these on your own, and then check back with mine. Remember, dotted lines, all these dotted lines, these are not real shapes, okay? They are part of the shape. So this right here, you're looking at a pentagon, and they just drew all these little lines to help you break it into other size pieces to find the area of those and add them together. But finding the area of this piece is really quite pointless because it's not part of anything. So anyway, pay attention to that.
All right, question 1. Base is 15 plus 6, which is 21, times our height, which is 8. And when we do that and then multiply it by 1/2 or divide it by 2, we get 84 inches squared. For question 2, our base is 72, our height is 21. When we multiply those, then multiply it by 1/2 or divide it by 2, we get 756 meters squared. Important, again, always have your labels with the units provided, and if they don't provide units, the letter U, and it's always square units. And over here, our base is 75.8. This is not part of it. Okay, it's an obtuse triangle. 75.8, our height is 29.2. So we multiply 75.8 times 29.2 times 0.5, which is times 1/2, or divided by 2. And you get 1,106 and 68 hundredths kilometers squared. Now our composite pentagon over here, really it's just a pentagon that they broke into composite figures. Start with the rectangle, which is 19 by 12, which is length times width, giving us 228 meters squared. Looks like I got to go fill in meters squared here. Oh, no, I don't. That's just meters because that's the length of this side. But this needs meters squared. Okay, the two triangles on the side are 5 by 12, right? Base times height divided by 2 would give you 30 for each of those, which is 60 total, represented down here. So there's the 228. 60 represents these two triangles. And this triangle, right, has an imaginary base, but it's a base, okay? Because here is the height coming off of it from top to bottom, right? Here to here would have to be the same as this 7 meters. So our height is 7 meters, and our base is 29 meters because it's this 5 plus this 19 plus this 5. So when we do 29 times 7 times 1/2, or divided by 2, we get 101.5. Then we add those together, and we end up with 389.5 meters squared. What'd you think of those? Let's check out the next ones. And for number 5, we just need to find the area of the obtuse triangle here, which represents the sail, and then multiply that area times 2, which theoretically means we don't ever need to divide by 2. But you might want to do that anyway to get the square footage, then multiply the square footage times $2 per square foot, and you get $96 for the cost of the new sail. For number 6, Donovan is correct. It's 12 times 4 divided by 2, which is 48 divided by 2, which is 24. This is the straight line, right? There's no dots here. This is the imaginary added line that has nothing to do with the actual triangle. I don't know why they even do that. Who cares if it's 3 inches? But we know the height is 4 because it comes 90 degrees from what we're calling the base to the point. So the base is 12, the height is 4, and Darnell did this 3 times 4. So he found the area of this part that is not even part of the original triangle. For number 7, I would use the rectangle as your example of why it works, because 43 times 7 would create a rectangle that I continued with my terribly unstraight blue line. And it creates these two triangles that are not part of the original triangle. And if you were to, let's say, divide right here, both of those in half, you would see that these two are congruent and these two are congruent. And so what you're doing is you're taking the total rectangle and you're cutting it in half by taking these two pieces that are congruent to the two pieces that represent the original triangle. And that's why it is 150.5 centimeters squared. And for question 8, we have a triangle that gives us information, and we need to use that information to find missing information. So if the height is 12.2 meters and our base is 10.14, the area of the entire triangle is 61 and 854 thousandths meters squared. And for B, so that's A, and for B, if we know the shaded side and the total triangle's area, how can we find this missing section of our original triangle? So we're going to let the letter A represent this space. So to find this, we would take the total, which we found to be 61.854, minus the shaded part, which we know is 40.325, and we would get what it equals, which is 21 and 529 thousandths meters squared. Well, there you go. Hopefully I was able to help you out. If you have any more questions, again, let me know by messaging me on Schoology or commenting on the video. Talk to you later.